your
question
I want you to tell me a little bit about this political song that we're going to see a clip from. It is sort of more focused on the administration and the election and that. Maybe we should look at the clip first.
Okay.
And then you can tell me a little bit about your motivation for doing it and how you feel when you're singing it.
Sure.
Okay? So let's take a look at that. What's the name of the song, Tom?
America's Lament.
America's Lament from I Feel a Thong Coming On.
But we conquer an Arabic country and slaughter the enemy. Well, I'm sorry, but that doesn't sound like a good Christian friend to me. And would McCain please explain all the trillions of dollars we'll spend to me? The nation doesn't need ugly scenes or smoke screens or rigged voting machines. Now it's harder, we're all smarter, but so partisan it's in our genes. From the economy to the environment, to a righteous, unwinnable war. Hey nation, what the hell are we waiting for?
Bravo. More people need to be singing.
That's an interesting one. A friend of mine in Seattle was doing an event at a theater benefit, but they specifically asked her for political songs. So she called me, because I've written a bunch of cabaret material for her in the past, and she was like, what do you have? And I was like, well, I try to stay away from politics in my songs, normally.
Yeah.
But I have one corporate client in Seattle that I do a lot of corporate events for them. And I've done some political stuff for them. They have a big annual event where I have to go online and do research because I don't know who these local Washington senators are or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so I sent her some of that stuff, and it didn't seem right. And then this kind of just popped in my head as something that would lend itself, where it's Adelaide's Lament from Guys and Dolls, and she's getting sick as she's singing it. And so it just started kind of cooking in my head. I wrote a first draft, wrote a third draft, wrote a fifth draft, and I normally do not rewrite my work. Usually. Is it normally kind of a one? Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing. In Dirty Little Show Tunes, I would come out and talk to the audience every night and get a show tune, a sex act, and a location. And during intermission, I would write a new song every night, and that's how Act 2 started. So I got very fast. So, I mean, usually at least a first draft of a lyric will take me an hour at the most. That's me really working, sweating it out. Usually It's 20 minutes on Muni. I'll get on an Embarcadero, and by the time I get out from the Castro, the song's done. Yeah, it scares me sometimes. I think I'm channeling Howard Ashman or Cole Porter or whatever. But with this one, and I wrote it when Hillary was still in the race, so she had to be edited out of it. And it was very convoluted, just trying to figure, where is this lyric going and what am I trying to say with it? And I finally got it to a point where I liked it. And then Alan Sawyer, my director, said, it needs a point of view. You need to take a stance here. And so then it was like, oh, okay. So I decided to just go there, say the things I wanted to say, while still keeping the rhyme scheme and all that. And then put it in the show and see how people respond. And people get really quiet.
What do you think that is?
Well, it's a very intricate lyric, and they're listening. And especially it comes after the huge raunchy thing. So I think it takes them by surprise a little bit. They're like, oh, he's going there. And then they're listening to it, and it's not particularly funny. I mean, there are some kind of sharp comments in it when you know that your mom's vote is probably canceling out your dad's. But it's not a ha-ha song. It's a, what is he going to say next song? And they just get really quiet. And then I finally finish it, and there's this roar of applause. So I guess people are liking it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, personally, when I saw it, I felt exactly what you're saying. I was listening. I was kind of thinking, where is he going? Is this going to be really, an insight? Are you going to incite some sort of put up a fight or something kind of thing, or are you just making us think? And that's what I got from it. I was like, what are you going to say next?
Yeah, it was a pretty strong political commentary.
Yeah.
I thought. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, it's like I said, it's the most careful I've ever been with it. Because I mean, when you're writing a song, the word is very powerful, and I think the internet has cheapened that because there's so much crap out there, and there's so much poorly written blogs and things where punctuation's gone out the window and people use words that aren't interchangeable interchangeably. But I very much pride myself on my turn of phrase and choosing exactly the right word that says exactly what I want to say. Right. So when I'm opening it up to that kind of subject matter, I had to be very careful. Yeah. Because once it's out there, I wanted it to be potent.
I mean, Tom, that is such an incredible talent to be able to turn the word like that. And what I said to Roger after the show the other day was that there was nothing cheap about these lyrics. I mean, the lyrics are rich. You know, anyone, I think I wrote down here, you got into one of these songs, Commodious and Coco Van and Skanky into the same song. And they all work. Yeah. I had to look up Commodious. I mean,